on to you, Scorpios. You have the Two of Wands, the Strength, Ten of Cups, the Two of Cups, Queen of Wands. Then you have the Five of Pentacles, the Temperance, the Page of Wands. Then you have the Death card, obviously, right? How could you miss that? There's one thing you can say about the Death card. It sticks out like a sore thumb. And then you have the Four of Pentacles, right? You really can't miss this. So for you Scorpios, and you showed up in your own reading, because the Death card represents Scorpio. So you showed up here in your own reading. Congratulations. So for you Scorpios, right? The Two of Wands, the Strength, the Ten of Cups. Again, a lot of you Scorpios are now paying attention to, like I said, more opportunities. And what I mean when I say opportunities is, the burden of performance is off your shoulders. The idea that you have to be pressured to do certain things. A lot of you Scorpios are thinking very much so differently now. And because of the fact that a lot of you have the ability now, or you've developed the ability to think differently, a lot of you Scorpios understand that it's time for you to take life back into your own hands, right? You already are doing it. It's a matter of what it is that you're choosing to opt in and out of. Like a video game in that regard. Right? Now, I'm not a fan of playing these types of games like that, but I am a fan of playing video games. So, a lot of you Scorpios, the Strength and the Ten of Cups, hey, if one relationship doesn't work, go try to talk to another person. Now, obviously, when you start to get really bothered by this, where things don't work out, then it's time for you to take a break. But as of right now, a lot of you Scorpios are pretty good. You could decide to get to know new people if that's what it is that you want to do. You know, obviously, I've been reading your cards for a couple of weeks now, and I've been going through the journey with y'all, and I'm seeing how it is a lot of you Scorpios are rehabilitating yourselves. You're going from being into a state of thinking that the whole world is against you to now being in a state where you actually realize that it's not true. And that the Two of Cups now and the Queen of Wands is really about how, so now you have an opportunity. It's the summertime. A lot of you Scorpios have been doing the internal work to build up to this point in your life now and beyond. You Scorpios have all the opportunity in the world to talk to people. And some of you Scorpios, honestly, you have been. You have been. The Ten of Cups, the Two of Cups, you have been talking to people, trying to get to know what's going on with them, right? Going out on dates. I'm proud of you Scorpios for that, because I'm seeing that a lot of you Scorpios see this as new opportunities to legitimately talk to people, get to know people, find out what type of time they on. And if you don't rock with them, don't hang out with them. And the Queen of Wands represents, some people may think of you as being a player on either side. They may think of you as being a player or not really being serious about that. So getting to know them, notification. So as a result, a lot of you Scorpios realize now that since that's the case, it's okay to allow people to think whatever it is that they want to about you, as long as it doesn't get to a certain point where it becomes out of hand. Because you Scorpios already know sticks and stones, right? Like, that's not really who a lot of you Scorpios even are. You're not, you know, some of you would. There's a lot of you Scorpios that get down like that. There's a lot of Virgos that get down like that. But that's everybody. A lot of people get down like that. Most people are in the game. You know, it is. Most people, regardless of zodiac sign, are in the game, regardless of job, job description, are in the game. It's just that for you Scorpios, you decided to not be in the games now. And now you finally start to realize just how much games people play. The Queen of Wands, they're upset at the fact that you, 10 of Cups, 2 of Cups, you have 12 cups. 10 plus 2 is 12. Right? You have a lot of people that you could be getting to know right now. And you Scorpios are shopping around. You're dating. You're not necessarily dating to do people harm, where you're getting active with people. You're really just trying to see the last thing that a lot of you Scorpios want, if we're really gonna go there. 10 of Cups, 2 of Cups. The last thing that a lot of you Scorpios want is to become active with anybody right now. Because once you become active with a person, it doesn't matter how many people you're getting to know. It's best for you to cut off those people. Because the way that it's gonna look like if you were to pick someone that you didn't necessarily get down with at first, active with at first, it's gonna look like you cheated. Even though technically you really didn't cheat, it's gonna look like you were playing games from the very beginning, is what it honestly looks like in a broad scope of things. And the last thing that a lot of you Scorpios would want is to get active with anybody. Why? Because when you remain inactive in that regard, as you're talking to other people, you get a chance to actually see what people are bringing to the table. And the Queen of Wands, this person is way off about you. And that's why it is that you shouldn't care. The Five of Pentacles, if they have this mentality where you need to commit and they trying to get you to feel hurried, most definitely you should stay away from them. The Temperance and the Page of Wands now represents, because you Scorpios are in a position where you really don't have to put up with their nonsense at all. And they're too old to be sitting up here acting like they have any kind of justification to tell you how to live your life. You Scorpios have a more high aware, you Scorpios have a higher awareness because you've been doing the internal work. And you Scorpios know why it is that you do what you do. So you're not going to allow people to tell you that you getting to know multiple people at the very beginning is dysfunctional. You can choose to be with one person. 2, you can get to know 3, how many you can handle, right? 10 for me is a little bit much. I'll say 2 or 3. 10, I tried 10. It's way too much. I literally didn't have time for myself. That was terrible. I shouldn't have done that. But I learned from that. But don't, just understand why it is that you're dating. And don't even feel bad about it, right? You have no karma. No karma is coming to you because of that, right? And we gotta transcend karma. We gotta get out of that, right? Because it's bigger than karma. The Page of Wands represent, you still have people, right? The Page of Wands, the Death card, the 4 of Pentacles. You still have people that are still interested in you, still interested in trying to get to know you anyway. So this is the point that I'm trying to make. You're still in a position where when one person decides to leave, let them leave. I've talked about this before. If they're going to leave, let them leave, because as long as you're not getting active with those people, you're good. And then the Scorpio energy, the death energy, letting it go, letting those people go, letting the death card take place in those relationships, letting it go, right? The 4 of Pentacles, and understanding that you eventually you have a higher chance of meeting the correct person for you, because you're actually taking the time out to date multiple people instead of just one at a time, right? Because it can feel like a time waster if you're just going one. But if it sometimes, there's benefits to that, because you can get to the person that will I ain't gonna say deal, but will be with you, and you will be with them faster if the two of you actually, started to get to know each other faster. So let's clarify some of these cards. But what I'm seeing here for you Scorpios are that you definitely are already going out there, getting to know other people, dating a lot. Not necessarily getting active with people, but dating, feeling people out, trying to see what's going on. And If all it is that they have to bring to the table is good looks or their bodies, a lot of you Scorpios, a lot of you Scorpios may not really be interested in being with them long term. I'll say that. But I don't suggest you be active with them, right? Because sometimes, a lot of times actually, when you get active with them, you're obligated now. They want to make you obligated. So let's clarify the Death card. Let's clarify the Death card. So you have the Eight of Pentacles, then you have the Ten of Wands, then you have the Seven of Wands, and then you have the Nine of Cups. Right. To clarify the Death card. The Eight of Pentacles represents, yeah, you know, if not a lot of them show you anything special, you'll be by yourself, or I should say single, and just choose to build on your own skills and what you already have. I mean, regardless of the who or the what, whether you're getting attention from people or not, you're still going to be building on your skills. The Ten of Wands, the Seven of Wands, you Scorpios, the Ten of Wands. What are the Ten of Wands? What do the Ten of Wands look like? Oh, yeah, packing up, right? But it can mean something different in this one. The Ten of Wands is about, instead of packing up, being steadfast, just more steadfast, you know? Instead of putting those wands on your back and walking off, it's more about putting those wands in the ground, because they are part of the agriculture anyway. So it's just about replanting them just in a bigger, more wild space, right? Same thing for your life, right? Replanting it elsewhere. The Seven of Wands, the Nine of Cups. The Seven of Wands is about, and it has to be even, right? It has to be even. If it's not even, if it's the Seven of Wands, a relationship requires too much hard work. The Nine of Cups, you'll just stay single.